Alright, well, we're just going to continue where we left off. Partway through the physics chunk here, we were just getting to slopes, which is going to answer a lot of the questions that I had about this whole thing. Because he set it up to specifically differentiate between ground and wall, strictly based on if it was like horizontal or vertical, and that put off some flags for me for like slopes, so it seems like he's going to address that. But where we currently are with the project, we have a ball that we can slide around with all kinds of adjustable things. The speed is adjustable, the acceleration is adjustable, the acceleration in the air is adjustable as an independent thing to the ground acceleration. You can adjust how many double jumps you have. You can adjust how high you can jump just in general. Bunch of cool stuff like that. So now we'll make it so that we can move around in a more complex environment than just a flat plane, is what I imagine we're doing. You have the page up?
Yeah. So you have to install the Pro Builder package.
Oh, okay.
It's default in Unity. You just have to turn it on. It's under Package Manager, I think, in Window. And then I think you have to check like Unity default ones or Unity somethings, maybe at the bottom. I don't know.
Does he say it in the thing?
No, but I did it yesterday. Let me. There should be
Unity
some-
registry?
Yeah.
What is it called again? Pro Builder. Here we go. Install. Okay.
He uses this in a lot of them, and I didn't. I think this is like when I stopped doing a lot of the movement ones was when I got to this part and then didn't install Pro Builder because I didn't know how to get it.
Normally he would walk you through how to do that. It's weird that he just like assumes you have it.
Well, he talks about packages and stuff in the first one.
So he just like assumes that you know enough.
Yeah. But also it is kind of weird, the little Unity registry part of it. But I think it's because Asset Store changed recently.
Okay. You can create a slope by rotating a planar cube, but that's an inconvenient way to create a level. So we'll import the Pro Builder package and use that to create some slopes. The Pro Grids package is also handy for grid snapping, though it's not needed in Unity 2019.3 if you happen to use that. What are we on? 2020? So we're probably good, right?
Yeah, we learned how to do grid snapping. Remember, it was like.
Oh yeah, it was like
right?
control drag.
Oh, whoops. I made a deafen key and I always forget about it. Is it control?
Maybe it's shift, I don't remember. Pro Builder is fairly straightforward to use, but might take some time to get comfortable with. I won't explain how to use it. Just keep in mind it's primarily about about faces, with edges and vertices being secondary. I created a slope by starting with a Pro Builder cube, stretching it to those dimensions, extruding it another 10 units in the X dimension, and collapsing the X faces to their bottom edges. This produces a triangle double ramp with slopes on both sides that are 10 units long and 5 units high. Okay, well, let's figure that out, I suppose. First, I'm going to get rid of these walls, I guess. So what, I go game object, 3D object, Pro Builder cube. Open Pro Builder. Oh, okay. It's like a separate thing, I guess. Honestly, I feel like I might want to just go to Blender, make this shape, and then import it in.
Well, look how many he makes, though.
Yeah, you could just copy and paste it and rotate it. That's what he
No, it's
does, right?
angles. No, they're angles. Slope angles. I think you can do that in this. That's the
Oh.
idea. Is you can define like a slope. I had the same thought as you, and ended up not doing it.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at all with this.
Let's
So
figure it out.
he said
Pro Builder mesh filter.
he made the Pro Builder cube and stretched it to 10 by 5 by 3. So I guess first of all we should do that. Why isn't this working? Oh, it's read only?
I think it's new. You do new shape and then choose cube, and then you do. It gives you these 3 inputs.
Oh. Okay. Oh, where'd it go?
I don't know though. It's like oh no, it's here.
Okay, should I just delete the original one then? Yeah, okay. Then
Like
he
hammer.
and he extruded it another 10 units in the X dimension. How the fuck? Build? No. How do you extrude? Is that a button on here? Oh, it disappeared. What the fuck? Oh, so I have to actually hit build for it to save it, I guess? Okay.
It makes a new one when you do that.
But then when you
Oh,
close that
okay.
window, it deletes the other one.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck it. I guess let's just learn Pro Builder.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. I didn't know that was...
Yeah.
That's kind of lame. Whatever.
I mean, it seems pretty helpful.
Yeah.
You could make a bunch of platforms and stuff really easily. And then we just put... Yeah, this looks good. This could skip a lot of steps in Blender, I feel like. We wouldn't have to worry so much about imports.
Yeah, because then it would just be textures, right? Well, I guess no.
At least for level design and stuff, you could just use Pro Builder for all this.
Yeah, and then we could export it into Blender, put a texture on it, and then put it back kind of thing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Alright, so Pro Builder, get started. Let's see. Oh my god, there's
One of the
plans
most
and
fun parts
pricing.
of our game is making your
What does
own
that
levels. Luckily,
I
you
don't
already
know.
have
I was just gonna
animation
go to a
tools.
YouTube tutorial instead, I guess.
Let's go tools,
Tools, Pro Builder.
putting window because waiting of course hold T and so for our left that we can. So I'm mirror of what we want is add another material for this. Let's go to project and create material, and let's just call it default. Incorrect. Also go in here and add the code because but create from here we can simply drag in. Best to do this on a grid. So let's just go tools, pro grids, and open up the pro grids window. As is currently set to object. So we select entire objects at a time. The second one is called vertex, where we can select individual vertices or corners. You also have edge, which allows us, of course, to select edges.
He has like a object point edge face selection mode. I don't know how he got that. Oh wait, I got it.
Up here.
Tools, Pro Builder window.
I don't know about the angles.
So I guess that's how you extrude. So he said he extruded it out. What did he do? 5 units in the X direction? No, 10 units in the X direction. Why don't I just change that to 20? I guess because it's read only.
Collapse.
Why did he do that? Why didn't he just make the thing 20 by 5 by 3?
I don't know.
I can't get it to exactly 20. It's like 20.01. I guess it's snapping. Okay. Collapsing the X faces to their bottom edges.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out collapse.
What does he even mean by that? The X faces, so just both of these two faces on the X-axis?
He brings them down. Oh, but I don't know how what's that point in the middle? Oh, extruding it another 10. Oh, okay. That's why he does it. He doesn't do it by 20 at first. He extrudes it so that there's a point in the middle, so that it's a triangle. So I have to figure out how to extrude as well. Oh, okay. Here. Under tools and then Pro Builder. Select loop, select ring.
Is there an extrude button?
Yeah, it's Control E. There we go. Oh, I don't have snapping turned on now. I thought Control is doing it.
Control's doing it for me.
Yeah, it is. The grid is a lot smaller than I thought.
But he says we bring the X faces to the collapse X faces to their bottom edges. What is?
Like
Do we
that.
just select those faces? Like,
Yeah. Somehow got into a mode where my gizmos are turned off. Fuck.
I think I got the shape. I didn't collapse it. I didn't do it like exactly the same way as him. I just grabbed the top two edges and just moved them together.
I think he moves them down.
Oh wait, so it's like an upside down triangle?
Hold on, I can't.
Sorry.
I can't move my camera. Figured it out. Okay. He moves them down like this. Right.
Wait, we have like effectively identical shapes then.
It's weird.
Hold on, let me try that way. I guess it does effectively the same thing. So I just grabbed the edges and I went like this and dragged it in like that. But I guess
Yeah, I
that's
guess that
essentially the same as doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So I could do that on one side and then do that on other side. Ah. Okay, cool.
So I was wrong about. So really, the reason we're doing Pro Builder is because he doesn't want to have to explain like
Okay. I placed 10 of those next to each other on a plane, varying their height from 1 to 10 units. Including the flat ground, that gives us slopes with angles that are roughly blah 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 blah. Okay, let me just try that, I guess. So should I close Pro Builder to do that? Or no, I guess not.
I think if you press... Oh no, it doesn't do that. It should be like you press new shape and it just makes a copy, right? It was doing that before.
I'm just using Control D.
Yeah.
How many did he say you make? 10?
Yeah, and then you just move the top over a little bit to change the slope. I slept a long time yesterday. Last night, I guess.
Yeah, we went to a lake, and Jason got this like paddleboard thing. So we were like out on the water doing that, and I came from that just like gassed and went to sleep just, like immediately too. But I set an alarm for like 7:50, and then I got up like right when we were calling it off, and I just like went back to sleep for a bit. Okay, so now I go back into edge mode. Did he say exactly how he varied them, or did... Oh, wait, that's fucked.
He moved each one over. He moved the top over 1 unit each time.
Fuck. It does matter if you do it down or merge it in the middle.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I want to see if the... Because this is kind of impressive. If it comes with a collider that is accurate, that's pretty good. It does. That's pretty good. That like skips some stuff for us, I feel like. At least for level design, because colliders are so important for level design, even if you can't see them.
My hubris.
Dead by Daylight has this really bad collider on one of I was playing yesterday, and these survivors showed me a spot where, like in the exit gates, you can stand in that little like, you know, like when you run through and there's the black, I don't know what they are, like spikes or something that keep the killer from going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
On one of the maps, you can stand there and not get hit. Like it blocks hits in like one little corner of it.
Jeez.
And it just like it lost me the game because I stood there and hit it a couple times.
Damn it. Why are these not exactly 5? Motherfucker. Is there... How do I change... Ugh. How can I just type a number in here to set this? It's read-only.
What?
Like, I want to set this height to be 5 exactly. Like, I want it to be a round number, not like a decimal. And now that it's a decimal, my snapping is, like, it's just incrementing. It doesn't, like, set it to a round number, you know what I mean?
That's, I guess. I mean, but that would make the first one smaller than the rest of them.
I want them to all be that. I want them to all be a round number. I just fucked up and accidentally made it, like, a long-ass decimal number.
I mean, mine is the same too. I don't think, like he says roughly, but I don't think it's roughly. I think it's like 5 or 6 or something. I don't know. 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 I don't know
You're probably right. I just mean, like, for the sake of learning this thing, like, I feel like I should know how to set a value like that directly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would think snapping would be my answer, but...
Gotta turn the shadows back on.
Alright, whatever. I'll just leave it as is, I guess. That's just annoying.
Yeah, I don't know how to edit the stuff within ProBuilder. ProBuilder doesn't really have, like, it just has controls. It doesn't have, like, it doesn't tell you much. Actually, it's all buttons. That's what's confusing about it. It's cool that you can do set trigger, though. ProBuilder comes with 2018 package. But then why does it have a price? Oh, I'm very dumb.
What?
I was looking at the Unity price for Teams. Which we would have to eventually pay if we...
Yeah, what is the deal with that? Is it like Unreal where it's like over a certain amount?
I don't know. It seems to be... It's a subscription-based thing instead of a royalty-based thing. Because Unreal is royalties. But I guess you get more functionality as well, supposedly. That's what they say. Oh, revenue or funding less than 100K. So we're good.
And then it becomes...
The rest of our lives.
And then it becomes a subscription thing after that?
Yeah, you're only eligible...
How much does that cost?
That's $400 a year per person.
Per person? Oh, shit.
Per seat.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's how they use it. Here per seat. Probably for a company, it's like you have a certain amount of seats, and then if you fire somebody or somebody quits and you get a new person, it's not linked to them. With Enterprise, it's $2,000 a month per 10 seats. $200. I guess that $200 a month per seat. But you get technical support. No, they all get technical support of some kind. But I get it. It's like you get better stuff with like cloud-based things, online games and such. I don't get how Pro is the most popular though. But is the difference between $400 a year and $1,800 a year?
do you mean?
He does a whole second set as I'm looking at. Like he goes from horizontal to vertical pretty much.
Oh wait, what the fuck? Yeah, like, wait. What is he
Because
moving?
After I placed another 10 slopes, this time, starting with the 45 version and pulling the tip to the left. So he does it backwards, like the starting slope. You probably see why, like, I pretty quickly stopped doing this. When does he raise them up, though? I can't figure that out.
This is wrong. What the fuck? What am I doing?
We could just download his thing.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
Oh, if you don't want to design the level yourself, you can grab it from the repository.
I just don't understand the. How did you get a wall? I completely missed that. Place another 10 slopes, starting with the 45-degree version, and pulling the tip to the left 1 unit per slope. What does that mean? I don't get it.
1 unit to the left.
What even is the? What's the 45-degree angle one?
The starting one,
The one that's the height of 1?
I guess. What
So
would
I-
it start with? It's 45 degrees, right? Yeah. Wait,
What is
no,
the left
not
one?
45 degrees. This isn't a 45-degree triangle.
What is it? What does the left one mean? Oh, pulling the tip to the left 1. Okay, never mind. Okay. But he doesn't even say, like, where did he place the other 10 slopes either.
I placed 10 of those next to each other on a plane, varying their height from 1 to 10. Oh, I was doing it wrong. I read the second paragraph first.
Pulling it to the left 1 unit per slope. Damn it, how do I know what's 1 unit if this thing doesn't adjust? Is one box 1 unit?
It's the grid, I think. Wouldn't it be the snapping?
Yeah, but it's. I don't think 1 snap is 1 unit. Because when I was
Yeah,
doing it before, it was.
when
It was.
goes up 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. I wish it told you.
3, I suppose. This still doesn't make any sense. Like. So in the picture, is that the two? Is that 20 triangles that are converging together somehow?
Maybe we. I don't know. Oh, sorry.
What?
I keep doing that. My mute button is like on my row of G keys.
Oh, I still heard you.
Really?
You just said, like, I don't know, and then you went, oh, sorry.
Oh.
Unless you said something in between.
Yeah, I figured it made the little like boom sound, but it just did it for me. I wish I knew how to copy the shapes within Pro Builder. But maybe that's not what he's doing. Maybe he just started with the Pro Builder cube, and that's it. And then he just did a bunch of stuff by hand. Oh, you could turn on the grid axis. That might be how he did it.
Oh, wait. I'm dumb. They're stacked. I was stacking them the wrong way. They're stacked like it's a row of 20. That makes
Yeah.
sense. What the fuck? Ugh.
Yeah, I really wish you could read the values.
Okay, I'm fucking lost again. God damn it. I thought I had it. Ugh.
Oh, when you change between these top things, the Pro Builder options change. Okay.
Oh.
I don't really know, like the ones that do change, I'm not sure how to use them, except maybe select by colors.
Okay, I think I maybe get it now. Oh shit, what the fuck? Extruded? Okay, I think I have it. This is it. I just gotta keep doing this until I get to fully horizontal. Why doesn't this face have a material though? Oh, there's a UV editor built into this too. God.
I think I'm bringing them up at too small of a unit. This doesn't seem like it's going up 5 degrees.
Are you like how many times are you moving it per snap? I guess how many snaps you're moving it?
1.
I think one snap does like 0.5. I think it's 0.25. Because I've been doing 4 snaps to equal 1 unit change. But I'm not fully sure on that. I think that's how it works. So what I did is I make 10. I make the last one the height of 10. I make the first one a height of 1, and then I just kind of moved between to make it like a gradient between the two of them. And then I copied the one with height of 10 more times, and I kept moving the edge closer and closer until it was a straight horizontal line.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of annoying, considering it's like, I guess we'll have to, not have to, but we can use this.
Yeah.
Rope builder thing.
One thing I'm noticing is my triangle has like one of the faces like doesn't have a material or something. Well, it has a material, but it's like like the UV is fucked up. I don't know. It's just like one shade. It's just like one darker shade of the color. I don't know why it's like that.
That's weird that yours are all color.
Oh, I just made a bunch of materials.
Oh. Okay.
I just did that for fun.
It's not just the shadow?
No, because look, like it's a different. They're emissive. Like this one.
Yeah.
This one's just solid. It's weird.
I don't know.
I was trying to mess with the UV, but like it doesn't seem to like me doing that. So what is the difference between these? I don't get it. I guess I haven't actually played with this like at all yet. Oh, my camera. Gotta move my camera. Actually, what if I just make my camera parented to the ball? Or a child of the ball, I mean. Yeah. Woo. Let's go. Okay, I can't go up that slope. I guess this would be a good chance for us to try to mess with that Unity version control if this is becoming too annoying. Like if we could figure out a way to have you be able to use my version of it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that would be, again, just making this tutorial about something completely different, but...
I'm just gonna do a limited version of it.
I noticed something weird about that mall project I've been working on. Of just like, I guess it's just an animation thing now, but I noticed that it's like really small. Like the scale of everything is kind of off.
Oh.
Cause like the I downloaded that like character movement default blueprint thing, and I've been like modifying it, and the default speed is like 10, and I have to put my speed to like 0.3 for it to be reasonable. Because otherwise 10 I'm just like flying hella fast.
That might just be like a units thing, though, right?
Yeah, I think that is what it is. It's just because it's so small, like the units are different, I think.
Oh, I thought you meant like the layout or something.
Yeah.
It's weird that it does roll down, but very slowly. I guess that's the constraints, like the rotation constraints are keeping that from... I don't know.
Woohoo. That's pretty fun.
There you go. You can walk up a wall. I get why we're doing the slope testing thing now. Because the way we have it could just be...
Wait, why are you able to just go straight up a wall like that?
Well, I can't go right up a wall. Oh yeah, I can actually. But I slow down at a certain point. But if I build up speed, I can do it.
What is your ball speed set to? The max speed, I mean.
So, 11, 12.
Oh, okay. Mine's 10 and 10, so that makes sense. I was gonna say, like, what the fuck? Like, mine doesn't... I can't go up straight up slopes. This is, like, oddly satisfying. Whoosh.
I can get up on like any of these slopes. But I
Even the
can't
straight
jump.
horizontal one?
Yeah.
What?
It's not straight horizontal actually.
Is your speed still 11?
No, it's 9.
The fuck?
I guess I can't get up the wall.
What about your acceleration? Is it also 10?
9. Oh, but max air acceleration? Maybe that's what it is.
What is your air acceleration at?
12.
Mine's at 1.
Mine's at 0 now.
Now you got Castlevania jump. Did you hit a ramp or something?
I set it where max acceleration is really low, but max air acceleration is really high, and then I set the max speed really high. So you like speed up when you jump. Whoop.
Look on mine. I think this is like the best I could do.
I wonder. We didn't leave off with like different code or anything, right?
I didn't think we did. Yeah, mine has
Oh,
like
maybe
no friction.
Are our sphere physics things different? I said it right.
The collider
No, yeah, the
or the
material.
rigid body? Oh, this
The
I see.
material.
I have 0 on
0
everything,
everywhere.
and then minimum.
Yep. Mass is the same.
Let's see.
Like default.
I think I set it to default. But let's see. Mass is 1, drag is 0, angular drag is 0.05, interpolate is none, collision detection is discrete.
I guess, you know what, that's not horizontal. I was being tricked by my camera angle. It's definitely not horizontal.
Even so, like, not that steep of ones, I really can't go up. Like, there still is a difference. Like, look, even this one. It's like, it's a bit of a struggle getting up this light blue one. I think this green one is the only one I could just clean go over like that. Maybe if I like built up speed. Yeah, if I build up speed, I can make it. Oh, never mind. But still, yeah. It ultimately probably isn't that big of a deal. It's probably more about the level being different than our things being different, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder if any of these balls are still here. Nope, they've all fallen off. Okay, well, I think I'm ready to move on if you are. Well, did you do the multi-ball step?
I need to at least have one horizontal. Or vertical, I guess.
That's pretty creepy looking. Like leaving that trail behind it makes it look like some gross spider shit or something.
I made 2 cameras without realizing.
Oh wait, did you end up changing the air acceleration and then messing with it?
Yeah, at the end I did.
What did you change it to?
I don't know. Why?
Because I think that might actually be it. Because I just realized it's.
I did it after we already tested it, though, or after I showed. Like I did a way different thing afterwards.
Did you bring it down to 1 or lower? Like, or was it like
No, like I brought them all up to 100.
the air acceleration?
Yeah.
Well, I was saying you should bring air acceleration to 1, and then you won't be able to climb up them so easily. Because when they're on the slopes over a certain angle, they're considered in the air now, not on the ground anymore. So
Okay.
that's why you're able to just like fly right up edges a lot easier than I
Makes
was.
sense. Can't get this camera right. Now I can. Okay.
What the fuck? My camera's like building acceleration. Holy shit. Or is it, yeah. I didn't know the Unity camera did that. As you see on this step that he goes through, you can see this is more like, these results are more like what yours were getting. Whoa!
Oh, yeah. I only changed it in play mode.
You're gonna have to change it individually for each one of them.
Oh,
Or, I mean, maybe if you select all of them, then you can do it.
yeah. It's not that hard.
Yeah, if you select all of them, you can do it.
Oh.
That's good to know. I'm sure that'll come in handy eventually.
Alright. So I think now we're back into coding.
Yeah, because he's gonna start talking about setting the like slope height as a configurable thing. But I mean, any time past this, I mean, we're past the hour if you ever wanna call it. I'm down to keep going though, just because I don't feel like I've done a ton. I guess
Yeah, I
it's
think
the what?
we can finish this, and we'll be done with physics.
Yeah. All right. You want to carry on then?
Yeah.
So now we're setting it up. This is our first time actually even opening our script, huh?
Mm.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make max ground angle a configurable thing. So that's just at what point it considers something floor or like ground, I mean. That's all that is?
Yes.
Okay. So this is ultimately something we would determine just based on how we want the character to control. There's not like a right answer on that.
Yeah, I think that's why I felt like it was fine to move past, because it was more about what you want specifically.
I really like having all these sliders though.
Yeah, that's what's good about these tutorials.
Yeah, because I would like, if I could use this and then tie that to like an actual model and then have all these sliders just get adjusted by things in the environment, like that's like such an easy to wrap my head around way to like handle doing different environments and like different like environmental hazards, I guess. Okay, this part I need to, oh god, I need to refresh dot product. Okay. The configured angle defines the minimum result that still counts as ground. Let's store the threshold in a field and compute it via mathf.cosine in an onValidate method. That way it remains synchronized with the angle when we change it via the inspector while in play mode. Also invoke it in awake so it gets calculated in builds. Okay. One thing I miss from the blueprint system is being able to kind of like drag stuff into little groups. Like the way this code is set up, it's just like these, like all the definitions here. In my mind, I would like to be able to like group them up a little bit nicer. I guess I could do that with just like indentation or comments.
That's how I put all my integer, or like all my definitions together, and then I put all my methods together, I guess, at the bottom. And I have all the like Unity default ones together. Awake, update, fixed update.
Yeah. I think I just need to get better at doing this. I need to get more organized.
It definitely helps understanding, I guess, like the flow, like what stuff gets pulled from where.
Yeah. I guess that's that's the thing that I have a hard time with is like already in programming the flow is a little bit weird because it's like it goes to start and then it calls the functions in just whatever order. It doesn't matter where they are in the actual code. I mean, I guess that's not even that's not even all languages do that, but some of them are structured like that. But then in this case, when it's being used for a game, like there's not really like a, like obviously for things like update and awake and start, there's a flow. But if there's like a trigger volume, like there's not really a flow to that. Like that could get triggered just like any time. So that's hard for me to categorize, I guess. I wonder if I ever would have put that together. That it, the problem is that I'm putting it in degrees, but it's expecting radians. Like if I didn't catch that, I guess I would just have some weird behavior that it would be hard to narrow down. Now we can adjust the max ground angle and see how that influences the movement of the spheres. I'll set the angle to 40 degrees from now on. I gotta put this over here. So that's 40. Put it to 90. Then that means I'll be able to just walk straight up walls, right? Not quite, but still pretty far.
Oh, so onValidate is a default script?
I guess so.
This function is called when the script is loaded or value is changed in the inspector. Called in the editor only.
Okay, are you on jumping while on a slope now?
Almost. I just need to change the ground angle.
Okay.
What is that? Evaluate collision. I didn't actually catch why we're using dot product.
My understanding is the dot product is determining what is like what is ground and what isn't. It's just putting it in a variable rather than having it be like calculated every time.
Okay.
Not fully sure though. The configured angle defines the minimum result that counts. Oh, actually no. When a surface is horizontal, the y component of its normal vector is 1. For a perfectly vertical wall, the y component is 0. The y component varies between those extremes based on the slope angle. It's the cosine of the angle. We're dealing with the unit circle here, where y is the vertical axis and the horizontal axis lie somewhere in the xz plane. Another way to say this is that we're looking at the dot product of the up vector and the surface normal.
Okay. I didn't think about the up vector.
Okay, that makes actuals. Okay, got it.
Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Whoa. Looks like hair. This is weird because the controls are all flipped because where the camera is. It's not really relative to the camera. So I'm holding right and they're going left, and then I hold left and they go right, and down goes up, and yada yada. I'm sure that's something we could easily take into consideration, but whatever. But yeah, the next problem we have that he explains in the tutorial is that when we jump, it's straight up. So they all go straight up regardless of the fact that they're like on a slope. So I think he's going to have it so that jumping will launch you at like an angle depending on what slope you're on. Which seems smart. That's a good idea. This is still pretty fun though. So adjusting that ground angle. When would I ever want like a really low ground angle? So I just want it to be hard to go up slopes for whatever reason. That makes sense. Because like in some games when you walk up a slope, it'll be too steep and then you like slide back down it. Wonder if this is connected to that too, or if that's just something you could just set up as like a trigger or something.
What was it?
You know in some games when you walk up a slope that's too steep, it'll just like become an animation where you slide back down the hill. I was just wondering if that was something that you could implement with this, like a smart, like physics way, or if they just have like a trigger that's just like, oh, this is a slope that's too steep. I'll just put this trigger here, and that triggers the animation that slides you down, type of thing.
I know in GTA, it's if you're not standing on something for a certain amount of time, then you go into into your falling animation, which is it's basically just your rigid body, or your, what's it called?
Ragdoll?
Ragdoll. And that's just like if you're not on the ground. So if you hit like a certain, like at a certain angle, you would just be considered not on the ground, and then you would have, because that boolean is
Like is on ground.
Yeah. That's like the whole thing, pretty much.
Can we change max ground angle like on the fly? I didn't even think to try that actually. So that's
Sort of
0.
the point of this thing of like having. Although I realized when I was in the bathroom that the reason we use dot product is because when we check for on ground, we check the normal of the plane. We don't check like the slope of the plane. So we start with a slope angle and convert it to a normal.
Okay. So yeah, the next problem we're dealing with is the fact that when you jump, it's always straight up, even if you're standing on a slope. Like ideally, if you're standing on a slope and you jump, it would kind of launch you in a direction, you know? But if you, right now, if you're on a slope, you jump, you just still go up.
Yeah. You hear the cat?
What?
Hold on. Turning my mic up. But I won't make noise. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
The cat was being very loud.
Okay, well, are you good to move on?
Yeah. You're on jumping while on the slope, right?
Yeah. Our sphere always jumps straight up, no matter the angle of the ground it's currently on. Another approach is to jump away from the ground surface in the direction of its normal vector. That'll produce different jumps per slope test lane, so let's do that. We need to keep track of the current contact normal in a field and store it whenever we encounter a ground contact within evaluate collision. Okay, so now we have a variable for the normal, just the straight, and then we could just set the force in the direction of that normal, I guess, would be how it works.
Yeah. You probably multiply it, I assume. Yeah.
So if the normal is greater than or equal to the dot product, then yes, you're on the ground, and the contact normal is the same as your normal. Okay. But we might end up not touching the ground. In that case, we'll use the up vector for the contact normal, so air jumps still go straight up. Set in update state if needed. What does that mean? Set in update state if needed? Why would we need to do that?
I don't know.
Oh, he just does it in update state. Whatever.
I guess if you want the variable for other stuff,
Okay. Or it's if you actually care about air jumps going straight up or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have to add the jump contact normal scaled by the jump speed to the velocity when jumping, instead of always only increasing the y component. This means the jump height is an indication of how far up we jump when on flat ground in the air only. Jumps while on a slope won't reach as high, but will affect horizontal velocity. Bee hopping. So velocity equals velocity plus the contact normal times the jump speed. Okay. But this means that the check for a positive vertical speed is also no longer correct. It has to become a check for the speed aligned with the contact normal. We can find that speed by projecting the velocity on the contact normal by calculating their dot product via that. So that's for the check of capping the speed when you're jumping up, or just the max speed in general, right? That's the idea there.
I think so. I don't actually know the check for. Where is the check for a positive vertical speed?
Is it in jump? I think it's in the jump.
Oh, here. Yeah, if velocity y is greater than 0. So that could be incorrect if you jumped off of a wall, right? If you set it where max angle was a wall.
Sorry, I didn't fully get that.
If you set your max angle, your max jump angle to 90, then you could jump on a wall, and then because of what we just wrote, the contact normal times jump speed, the normal would be 0 in the y direction, and you would jump sideways. So the check of velocity is greater than y, or velocity y is greater than 0. That would be untrue.
Well, that's why he's changing it to if a line speed is greater than 0.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We're on the... I get that now. That makes more sense.
I think this is also just good tools for... We could take these ideas and apply them in any way, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like I could figure out how to do like a wall drag, or whatever it would be called, when you jump on a wall and hold your hand on the wall and slide down slower.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know exactly how it would be done, but I feel like I could sit here for an hour and figure it out now.
Now that the jumps are aligned with the slopes, each sphere in our test scene gets a unique jump trajectory. Spheres on steeper slopes no longer jump straight into their slopes, but do get slowed down as the jump pushes them in the opposite direction that they're moving. You can see that more clearly on all slopes by trying it with a drastically reduced max speed. Let's give it a go.
This is also like, I feel like this is in the wheelhouse of that idea for pool time, of the like predictive ricochet.
Oh, yeah.
It like sets you down a path and then you just follow that path.
I could see that for sure. No, the more I've been learning about this kind of stuff, it's definitely felt more and more attainable. Like, I definitely get a better feeling about that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is good. Whoa, why did that one just go flying? That was weird. See how that one just like jumped straight in the opposite direction. That's cool.
I didn't see.
I think this is how we would do a bee-hopping system. Because then your aligned speed is added to your like movement speed in a sense. But I guess we put this. Well, no, this is only for the jump. This isn't. Isn't there a max speed check too?
Yeah.
So shouldn't we take that into consideration?
I don't know if it applies for a jump.
Well, because when you jump, it adds movement horizontally as well as vertically. So if you're already going like right at the max speed and then you jump on a slope that's angled the opposite way.
Where is jump and where is the max speed check?
I'm trying to figure that out. But I mean, even if they're not necessarily connected in the code, like it could just be the fact that it's like they're both determining the speed, right?
No, one would cancel the other first. If like one would overwrite the other before the next frame is updated. Unless they're in separate ones or something. But what is this max speed change? Max speed change is equal to acceleration times time. Yeah. Or delta time. I don't even see max speed.
It's within update. It gets used when defining desired velocity.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then yeah, I didn't think about that.
So far, we've always defined the desired velocity on the horizontal xz plane, no matter the ground angle. If a sphere is going up a slope, it's because physics pushes it upwards to resolve the collision that happened because we gave it a horizontal velocity that points it into the slope. That can work fine while going up slopes, but when going down a slope, spheres move away from the ground and can end up falling when their acceleration is high enough. The result is bouncy movement that's hard to control. You can see this when reversing direction while going up the slopes, especially when setting max acceleration to a high value. Oh, that's weird.
I think that's why you can do that thing in Rust when you fall. Unless you know a better reason why.
What do you mean? Like when you slide along a wall?
Yeah. Because your capsule would be like pushing down into the collider. And the physics like cancels it by pushing it back out.
Maybe. That's reasonable, I guess. I could see
'Cause
that.
it only works on like flat things, right?
I think so.
I guess I don't know. I've never been in a situation where I use that successfully, so I don't know how it works.
I've only used it consistently on the train, or not the train, the like subway tunnel. When you jump into like a corner, that it works pretty consistently there for me, but whatever. We can avoid this by aligning our desired velocity with the ground. It works similar to how we projected the velocity on a normal to get a jump speed, only now we have to project the velocity on a plane to get a new velocity. We do that by taking the dot product of the vector and the normal as before, and then subtracting the normal scaled by that from the original velocity vector. Let's create a project on contact plane method for that. For that, which does it with an arbitrary vector parameter. So I didn't get all of that, but the general idea, I guess, is that you can move around freely. Like it like changes your forward to be like relative to the angle you're on.
Yeah. That makes sense. So we have like each frame, it's well, not each frame because it's just its own method, but like the idea is it like creates a plane, like an abstract plane that would point in the direction that we want to point the next frame.
Let me turn the acceleration up so I could actually see this problem. Oh, yeah. That's weird. Okay. So where should I put that? Does it matter where I put this?
No, I'm putting it on the bottom. Just don't put it inside, like any other voids.
Alright.
In general, the way I think about, like, what's the word? Organizing code is like, I have my main code blocks that are like interacting with each other and making most changes the most amount of times, like update and awake, like, and then within those there are references to other ones. So it's like you have a couple of people who are the main characters, and then they have their own set of friends, and all those people are at the bottom.
Okay. So the side characters are at the bottom.
Yeah. Main characters are in the middle, and then their tools, their ints and floats and stuff are all at the top.
The tools. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. Let's create a new adjust velocity method to take care of adjusting the velocity. Begin with determining the projected x and z axes by projecting the right and forward vectors on the contact plane. So aren't the right and forward vectors just going to still be flat? Like, is that even taking into account the angle yet, or do we add that in later?
I don't know. I need to read this actually, because I've been kind of just been copying for a little bit. So project on contact plane returns the input vector minus the contact normal times the dot product of the input vector and the contact normal. Okay. So the x-axis is vector right minus contact normal times the dot product. That makes sense, I guess. It's like constantly tilting the x and z axis.
Sorry.
Whoa.
This fucking thing, my mic stand.
Oh, yeah.
Squeaks.
I mean, that makes sense. Mine makes the same noise, but it came through the mic in a weird way.
I'm sorry.
It sounded like you were being attacked by the mic or something.
Because I went, oh!
The mic is screaming. That's what it sounded like.
Hold on, my mic is screaming. Okay, this gives us vectors aligned with the ground, but they are only of unit length when the ground is perfectly flat. In general, we have to normalize the vectors to get proper directions. So you just add dot normalized. What? I guess I understand, this has like a smart-ass answer, but what is this doing? What does dot normalized do?
So right now, the way we're calculating the direction is like a stick in the ground, and pointing straight up, it's at full length. But then, as it goes to the left or right, it becomes a shorter stick, basically.
Oh, and normalize keeps it the same distance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeps the length. Because right now, the way we calculate, it's specific to the way we're calculating it. It makes the vector point in the right direction, but not at the right length.
Okay. Now we can project the current velocity on both vectors to get the relative x and z speeds. So now we use those two things we just created here. Yeah, okay.
This is like its own thing, I feel like, that I'm going to come back to. This method for like changing the grid, or like rotating the axis, because this is like a level below local rotation.
Yeah, like isn't this how you would, I guess, yeah. Never mind.
It's like just changing the code's rotation.
That's weird.
I mean, like doing this isn't, but we're able to basically by using it.
You can use those to calculate the new x and z speeds as before, but now relative to the ground. Finally, adjust the velocity by adding the differences between the new and old speeds along the relative axes. See, why does it have to be the difference between the two?
Between what?
The new and the old.
Because you're adding it to it, probably. Adding to the last one.
Oh, because it's within that still? It's like within the
Probably.
velocity thing still somewhere?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
So now velocity is velocity plus the x-axis times the difference between the two plus the z-axis times the difference between the two. Oh, so now we just scrap all the old velocity stuff and update. But I don't think I control S actually.
I gotta do some math problems like in this form where the z isn't up. I'm so used to z being up.
Oh, look at that. Now we can actually like, it's like it just reverses. That's bizarre. I guess that makes more sense.
That is, I mean, it's pretty fucking impressive actually that it's still a physics object.
Yeah. So like if I put a bunch of rigid bodies, I'm gonna try that. Like it would still interact if I just put like a rigid body cube just in the middle of all this. I would be able to just like bop it around. Oh, is it just gonna fall through that plane actually? Oh, no, okay. Yeah. Fun.
So this is like you could have terrain and then like, I mean really what this is with the max ground angle, you're defining like when does your character act like a rigid or act like a physics object and act like a character. Because you could have like a 1% slope that you don't realize or something in a terrain, you know.
Yeah.
And your guy could just be like rolling around constantly like sliding down a slope really slowly, you know.
Okay. Oh god. Multiple ground normals? Whatever. I skipped ahead. With our new velocity adjustment approach, the spheres no longer lose contact with the ground when suddenly reversing direction while moving up a slope. Besides that, because the desired velocity adjusts its direction to match the slope, the absolute desired horizontal speed now varies per lane. Okay. Note that if the slope wasn't aligned with either the x or z axes, the angle between the relative projected axes will not be 20. I didn't get that. Hold on. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Hold on, adjust velocity. Okay. So what part didn't make sense?
The paragraph right after absolute and relative desired velocity, the like little picture that's showing it.
Note that if the slope isn't aligned with either the x or z axis, the angle between the relative projected axes will not be 90 degrees.
Just that sentence as far as I've gotten.
If the slope isn't aligned with either x or z, that angle between the relative projected axes will not be 90 degrees. I don't know why it would be 90 in the first place. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. If it's like turned a little bit.
Oh, he's saying if the slope was like at an angle along the y-axis.
Then like the movement wouldn't be exactly at a 90-degree angle to it.
So like that, if it was something like that.
That's weird. I thought the axes would be rotating with it.
Let me try to mess with that. Oh, actually, never mind. I can't see. So he's saying going up this slope is like fucked up because it's not at a 90?
I guess.
I just don't really get how it's fucked up, but it's very hard to test.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Seems fine.
We're in the phase where he's like, what could they call me out on?
Yeah. Seems to be working fine. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, we're almost done here.
Excuse me, if the slope isn't aligned with the x or z,
Yeah.
and then he goes, well, this isn't really noticeable.
Unless the slopes are quite steep. You could still move in all directions, but it would be harder to precisely steer in some directions than others.
He's answering a question that we don't have.
That somewhat mimics the awkwardness of trying to walk across, but not aligned with a steep slope. Oh, so he's even doubling down on it.
Yeah.
It's realistic.
That's how it is. Have you tried to walk sideways up a mountain?
Okay, so I thought this was a transition into multiple ground normals. I didn't realize it was a side project, so I was way more focused on it. Okay, multiple ground normals, 3.6. Using the contact normal to adjust the desired velocity and jump direction works fine when there is only a single ground contact point, but the behavior can become weird and unpredictable when multiple ground contacts exist at the same time. To illustrate this, I created another test scene with some depressions in the ground, allowing for up to 4 contact points at once. Okay, that's good. When jumping, at which directions do the spheres go? In my case, those with 4 contacts tend to prefer one direction, but can end up going in 4 different directions. Likewise, the sphere with 2 contacts arbitrarily picks between 2 directions, and the spheres with 3 contacts consistently jump the same way to match the nearby spheres that touch only a single slope. So the way to do this is you average between all the normals, I guess? Is that the fix? I guess, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think he explains why it happens, so that'll definitely tell the fix. This behavior manifests because we set the normal in evaluate collision whenever we find a ground contact. So if we find multiple, then the last one wins. Okay. That makes sense. The order is either arbitrary due to movement or always the same due to the order in which physics evaluates collisions. Which direction is best?
Up.
Left.
Fuck you.
There isn't one. It makes most sense to combine them all into a single normal. Yeah. So average.
Let's go!
That represents an average ground plane. To do that, we have to accumulate the normal vectors. That requires us to set the contact normal to 0 at the end of fixed update. Let's put the code for that. Oh wait, why? That requires us to set the contact normal to oh yeah, never mind. That makes sense.
Clear state method? What is that? Oh, it's a new method. It's not like a built-in. That's just what he's calling it.
Yeah.
See, I'm already adjusting to calling them methods now. I've whatever. It's growing on me.
What was one of them? I clicked on something and called it a function. So
Oh shit.
I feel like method refers to maybe these dot things, like when you do dot, or when you, I don't know, it must be the same. 'Cause when you do dot something, you're just using the methods on this, or the functions on this side, so. Oh wait, I bet it's the void thing. Voids aren't functions.
Oh yeah, because they don't return anything.
I bet that's the defining line.
That would make sense. Okay, so now within fixed update, it calls clear state, which sets on ground to false and sets the contact normal to 0. So that way the default is that on ground is false, and then this other function, what was it? Evaluate collision is what determines it, like corrects that false to true constantly.
Yeah.
It's like a
So we could
diesel's
start-
brakes.
You could start in the air and they can't jump on the first frame.
Yep, okay. That makes sense. Now accumulate normals in evaluate collision instead of overriding the previous one. Oh, that was a relatively easy fix. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Within evaluate collision, contact normal equals contact normal plus the normal. Finally, normalize the contact normal in update state when on the ground to make it a proper normal vector. So you can just add vectors like no problem. You don't have to do any special shit here.
Vectors can just add up.
That's great. Because like doing vectors in actual physics was always like, vector math was like a whole process you had to like go through. It wasn't necessarily like hard, but it was just like annoying.
Yeah, because these aren't actual geometric normals. They're just, or I mean, not normals. these aren't actual geometric vectors, they're just vector values. I think when you add two physics vectors together,
It's essentially just averaging them, right? It's not gonna like have like more force now or something, is it?
I think I don't know.
Maybe. Oh no, it does. I bet you it does. And then the normalizing is fixing that, right? Because a vector it's a coordinate and then like a magnitude, right, and a direction.
I think it's just a direction and a magnitude.
Oh, like the coordinates are in the directions.
Actually, I don't know. The magnitude is in the directions, I thought. It depends on how you save it, but vector 3 is just directions.
Okay. So, how could we set up this this test level? He didn't like even remotely touch on that.
I assume he like just drags like the vertices down. Like I think he makes one big cube and then cuts it like you would in Blender. But I don't know. Maybe it's a Boolean thing? It looks like Boolean. And I saw Boolean in the operators.
Well, maybe there's some sort of like create indent thing in Mesh Builder or whatever. Motherfucker. God damn it. Pro Builder, I mean, yeah. Build. Okay. Now I create that, select the top face.
Oh, I found a very helpful fundamentals page on Unity.
Oh, good, okay.
For Pro Blender.
Pro Builder. Fuck Blender, it's all about Pro Builder now.
Did you see they came out with Pro Blender, I think? You can apply any material to Pro Builder meshes using the material palette.
How does he do this? Actually, wait. I might know how to do this.
I bet he just assumes nobody's doing it by hand. He assumes everybody got it in the repository.
Yeah. We probably, maybe that is something we should be doing, but I want to figure it out.
I assume what happened is he like put this one out and then had to say where the repository was to a bunch of people.
They were just complaining.
Yeah. Because he edits these pretty frequently.
So now I got a vertex in the middle that I can grab and div it down. That's kind of what he has. Just a little tighter than that.
Ooh, the last bit is a very cool practical thing.
Now I edge select, edge grab both of these edges. Yeah, alright. So I have it, whatever, that's good enough. Now I'll grab these spheres. I'll delete. Oh, I'll delete all the extra ones that would just fall off anyways. And I gotta move the camera. Okay. Why is it not like... I guess it's not a steep enough slope. They're not like sliding at all. Should it be sliding down?
Oh no, something happened.
What?
My thing isn't working anymore.
Oh, fuck. Is this a configurable thing like the... Oh, it's the ground angle. It's too high. Okay. So I suppose I should have done this first to make sure the problem was actually, like, visible. Oh, this is actually a problem. If I have the max ground angle high enough that I can actually move around, then it doesn't slide like at all. It loses like all of its physics, it seems like. I just... Oh, it doesn't like slide down the slope. It like does it really slowly. Right now, like the way I have it set up.
Isn't that the point of the max angle? Is like you control it when it's...
Yeah, but if I put it down too low, then I can't jump at all. Because it's considered in the air. Like I was assuming for this I would kind of like look how slowly it's sliding down this. That doesn't quite feel right. The friction's at 0 already, so that shouldn't even... Is it because the air acceleration? No.
Max air jumps?
Oh, it's because the acceleration is really high, I think. I think it might be because I had the acceleration for all of them set really high. Let me see if I could change that. So I bring the acceleration back down to 10 instead of fucking 100. No, it didn't actually change it. Damn. Whatever. Okay. I guess that's
do you
just
have that else? Do you have this else thing in update state?
contact normal equals vector 3 dot up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we're getting rid of on ground next, so maybe that'll fix it.
I guess I'm thinking of it as a ball rolling game too much still. Like if this was a character, I wouldn't want him to slide down the hill.
Yeah, you'd want him to stand there. I think
So
it's
actually
Breath of the Wild with a sphere around him.
Yeah, so like the slow sliding is almost the problem here then. Like I almost want more friction. Okay, so whatever. I think I was just getting too caught up on the fact that it's a ball.
Yeah, you want static friction raised, I think.
Okay. Okay. Counting ground contacts. While not essential, we could count how many ground contact points we have instead of just tracking whether there is at least one. We do that by replacing the Boolean field with an integer. We then introduce a Boolean on ground read-only property Note the capitalization that checks whether the count is greater than 0, replacing the on-ground field. Okay.
How does that code work? It's a shorthand way to define a single statement read-only property. Okay.
See, that was you.
What?
You're the how does that code work? That's us.
Yeah.
I remember we had the same, we figured that out already, and then I forgot about it already again. Because I was just as confused seeing it again for the second time just now.
So it just means return. It's a Boolean, and if it's true, return it. If it's greater than 0.
Yep, okay. Clear state now has to set the count to 0 rather than setting it to false. Okay, okay. Oh, I also have to go through in every... I guess that's what he's doing right now. Clear state now has to, and update state has to rely on the property instead of the field. Besides that, we can also optimize it a little bit by only bothering to normalize the contact normal if it's an aggregate, as it's already a unit link otherwise. Okay. If on ground, capital O. Oh, whoops! I called it bool on ground. Also increment the count and evaluate when appropriate. One thing that's kind of confusing me about this is like, it's running every frame, right? So is this only when multiple contacts are happening like at the same time, right? It's not like if I hit 2 things quickly back to back, it's not going to average those 2 together. It's only if they're simultaneous.
I don't think so, but we'll find out.
Okay.
Test. Wait, do we change our adjust velocity?
Only in... Actually,
Oh,
wait. I don't... Yeah, only on ground.
That's what I thought. I saw it here, but not on the tutorial. The name on ground does not exist. Oh, I didn't change it somewhere else. Oh, I wish he was gonna. Oh yeah. How did you change the color? Thank God. I added the following code to update.
I was about to say, that looks like fun. That's something I want to know how to do. lookup. Fixed update. Wait, wasn't I supposed to delete that hella long ago? Whatever.
That assumes the sphere's material has a color property, which is the case for the standard shader. If you use the default shader of the lightweight universal pipeline, then you'd need to use base color. Okay. So I might have to do that because I don't know what I'm using. And these color dots are really nice too. Color dot white, color dot black.
Okay, I didn't have to use base color. I could just use color.
Nice.
So color dot white, that's just the same as like vector dot right, huh? Because it's just the hex code of that color.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's very nice.
And it's actually the RGBA. Not even, it's not.
Oh, so you could set the alpha too.
Yeah. Not even hex, it's just a.
What is the word for that? Yeah, just color code.
Yeah, I guess. RGBA. It's cool though because they have cyan and magenta too. I was thinking about trying to do a shader that somehow utilized all 6 instead of all 3. I don't know if that would be wildly impractical.
I don't know how this could ever be like a game mechanic. Like, if you're pushing between two things, you turn red.
Yeah.
But this is still cool that we can do this.
Having all these could be like the way, like having a ton of things like this could be the way we do powers in the future, like things that trigger powers. One of them being could just be standing on 2 things. Or touching 2 things or more. I mean, that could be the check. That would be a check of like, if you wanted to do a thing, if you had a game where like your character could like split the ground in half, you know, but could only do it at specific places. That could be a check for if you're standing on the right thing.
That's more if you're like, I feel like that's if you're being like super big brain smart developer. Like you make it so that your character controller can adapt to any fucking terrain. But I feel like the small brain approach is just like, just put a volume there.
I mean, what we're doing now is, this is the big brain approach.
Yeah. I'm scared of that approach, but I'm down to embrace it more. I changed it to cyan and it looks really cool. But yeah, I definitely always imagined myself leaning more towards like the whole more static development that's just kind of like triggers and shit like that. But
Yeah, I think that's just, I feel like that's design. Ooh, when you bring that multiplier up, you can actually tell.
What's the multiplier?
Wait,
Oh, the 0.25?
Yeah.
I'm gonna change it to 0.250. Oh wait, never mind. Fuck.
I don't know if this is right. I feel like this is.
What's going on? The colors?
Yeah, why would the colors change if I'm gray here, and then I'm black here on some of them. Look over here. I guess it's. I don't know. I guess it makes sense. It makes sense for the ones that I'm controlling. I mean, I'm controlling all of them, but.
Well, I think gray is if you have like one normal, right? And then black is if you have 0, and then white is if you have 2.
Oh. Oh, so black for them.
That they're in the air for them. That's considered a on.
Yeah. Right. Cool.
So we're done? Yeah.
For this one, yeah.
Let's look at what
Next
surface
one.
contact is.
This is the next big brain.
Stick to the ground instead of launching off a ramp. Oh, so you go boom, 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 boom. Perform a ray cast. So that's how you could boom, 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 push buttons. Configure multiple layers in their interaction. I don't know, onions. Navigate stairs. Can't the default character controller already do that? Make use of steep contacts.
That's the way this is.
I don't know what that means. I remember I watched like a 20-minute video about like the history of stairs on Dust 2 on Counter-Strike, but it was more about just like stairs in the Source engine in general. How they had this problem where you'd walk up each individual step, so your vision would go like and like jitter, and they like the way they'd figure it out is just to do like a slope instead, you know, so you just kind of slide up it for the hitbox of it. But then they had like a spiral staircase in the center of Dust that they couldn't get like a spiral smooth thing for hella long. Like they couldn't figure out how to do that. And then some guy just came along and thought of it. It's like a fan.
This is the layers thing they're talking about. Earlier in this, he set it up so that the ball would go up the stairs just like diagonally, like getting the average of the steps, while simultaneously having things not do that and it interact with those things. So like Dark Souls, how your guy isn't flopping around, but things flop around if you knock into them. Yeah, there's this whole collision layer, or layer collision matrix. So
Oh, this is exactly what I was just saying.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, like I said, at the end of this entire thing, you'll have a movement controller that you wouldn't have conceived of.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was just saying too. Can we avoid slowly rolling down the stairs? That's this problem I was talking about, where I didn't even understand what the problem actually was until I thought about it for like 5 minutes. But now, and he will address it.
Yeah, he's gonna address climbing.
That's exciting.
He's like complex gravity, where you could be pulled by another object's gravity while on a different object, like walking around it.
And so he doesn't go over anything remotely like adding a model to this. No. It's just purely the sphere movement.
100% development.
Leave some stuff for us, yeah.
Yeah.
This shit looks so crazy though. This looks fun. The orbit camera, custom gravity seems really cool. Complex gravity seems sick. I don't understand how moving the ground is such a complex one, but it kind of excites me that it is.
Yeah.
Because that's something I would be like, oh, just fucking put it in update that it moves.
Oh shit. So you know how we always say that these ones are like you save them to learn something specific within it?
Yeah.
This one is about animation.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm excited for the climbing one personally too. Honestly, these all look sick. This is like every time I look at this tutorial, I get so hyped about like I've always been wanting to do this tutorial. I'm glad we're finally moving on with it. So
it seems like a lot of these they like store, you know, like directions and derived directions. So like you can set up booleans for all these different animations, like for climbing, and then like climbing to the left quickly versus climbing to the left slowly, that sort of stuff. Like grip is a part of this. So if you're like sliding across the ground, if your physics is strong enough to slide you across the ground, you could do that and hold the animation in place.
That's funny how it's fucking like, it's like, yeah, this is the level we made today. It's a bunch of slopes and then a hole. Like, that's all we did, and there's a bunch of balls. Like, if you just look at it just on the surface level, it looks so dumb. But there's so much going on.
Is it still Pride Month? Is
June?
that May or June? Yeah.
It's still June.
Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I did that.
Happy Pride, everybody. That's why I did that.
Okay. Goodbye.